me, I'm the only girl in the world. I love that song. I don't know what it is. Okay. My name is Meredith, and I am 30 years old. And I live in LA. And sorry. I'm a costumer in the movie industry. I work on a television show, and I happen to teach. I teach here at Krav Maga. I grew up in West Texas in a small town called Odessa, and it was all about football and oil, and so yeah, that's where I had my upbringing. When I was 17 years old, I decided to go to Israel on a year-long program. But before I went to Israel, I had gotten maybe into a little bit of trouble, and I ended up landing myself in the Israeli army for an additional 6 months. And from there, I spent 6 months in the army, and then I did my year, and then one person was like, you should go to LA. And after about a year and a half of traveling and being in the army, and another half year of more traveling, I decided, why not? I've never been to LA. So I came here, and I haven't left since. So, fell in love with it. That is how I got exposed to it a little bit in Israel, but it was all here. I was working in the old building in an office, and I hated it. And I was like, 19, 20 years old, and I would come downstairs and see people just beating the shit out of things. And I was like, I need to do that. I need to beat the shit out of something. Shouldn't I? I wanted to beat the crap out of something. So I joined. And never punched before in my life, other than in just regular schoolyard scraps, but never had put any training towards anything, fighting style-wise. I was a member for closer to 10 years before I became an instructor. I actually decided to become an instructor after a I got attacked, and I ended up fighting off my attacker. And from that moment on, I decided that I had to learn how to teach people how to defend themselves any way that I could. So yeah, that's what kind of really motivated me towards becoming more aggressive about learning how to teach this and teach to others, and become more in tune with my body and my fitness and my health. So I was always really athletic in school. I did like 5 sports in high school. I loved track and soccer and basketball, but there was always something missing. I always needed more. I think that the reason why I did 5 sports was because I kept searching for more to do, and maybe something more aggressive, or something where I could like really focus my attentions and really learn something new. So when I found Krav Maga, it kind of encompassed all those things, like athleticism and agility and coordination and focus, and it just really, I really took to it quickly. I just really loved it from the moment I started it. I think that the most I think that punching and doing the bad classes kind of came really naturally to me. I had like a little bit more stamina and I have a lot of energy, so that really wasn't very hard for me to adapt to that. But I think incorporating my health and what I put into my body and how it resulted in my performance was the thing that really changed over the course of 10 years. I kind of started realizing that the healthier I was, the more active I could be, the better I felt, and so that really kind of spurred me on to teaching as well, is when I really learned how to become healthy and not to eat so many brownies. or drink so many beers. When I learned all those things, that you shouldn't do those things all the time in excess, I think that all of a sudden it became easier to punch for longer periods of time. It became easier to hit a pad or run. So I think that that's what really changed with me, was being healthier. Well, I've had ups and downs over 10 years, I have to say. I think that a doctor telling me that I was needing to, slim it back a bit and really focus on my health was one thing. Another thing was, seeing some of my peers and some of my, like Tina, and seeing other people and how they always took care of their bodies so well, that it kind of made me strive to do the same. They became more role models for me because I kept seeing them they looked so great, they looked so healthy. It wasn't that they were skinny or they had abs of steel. It was more about they just looked healthier, and you knew that they fed their bodies well, and then that's why they could do these amazing things, in classes, these explosive movements and these, powerful kicks and punches, and everything looks so easy. And I think that's what really, really helps. And that's what helped me, was to realize, the connection between putting good things in my body and doing good things at Krav Maga became a lot better. Also, just allowing myself to pace at my own speed was another big hurdle I had to overcome. Like understanding my journey and my path through Krav Maga. And I'm sorry, I have to mouth clap. I get really excited when I say things. Well, I had always kind of wanted to become an instructor, but I didn't know if I was ready. And I would come to these points of my training, every couple of years, and be like, am I ready to do this? And then my job would kind of get into the way, because my job is very demanding. I work like 90 hours a week sometimes on certain shows. So I could just never find enough time to do it. And about 4 years ago, I got really burned out at work, and I couldn't do the hours anymore. I could not do it. So I ended up starting to take a break and turn down work. And then that kind of spurred me to get healthy. And as I did that, I started to make the compromises. I started, balancing work and balancing working out. And then one day that whole thing happened where I got attacked, and I was starting to get in shape at that point. I got attacked, and after that, I just decided I want to learn how to teach. I want to learn how to help others. And so I asked Tina, and I asked her if I would be ready, if I could go into the instructor program, and she said, okay. And so, and I've been working out a lot, and so I ended up taking her fitness certification, and which was really scary. I worked really hard before I started the fitness certification, and then I started taking it, and I had to take it with Michael and Kane and AJ and Felix, and I was the only girl, and it was really scary, but I made it through it. And when I made it through that, I knew I could make it through anything, because those boys are crazy. So, so I got through that, and I then got my CrossFit certification. I was on a roll. And after the CrossFit certification, I got my Olympic lifting certification through CrossFit. And then I decided to go through the phase program, do phase A. So I did phase A through Krav Maga, which was the most intense thing I had ever done. I have to say, Kelly is such a badass, and so is Michael. Everyone that teaches that is insanely awesome, and it was the best experience. So intense, and it was such a learning experience, and you learn how to teach people so much better, and you learn how to move so much better. It was just an eye-opener for me when I finished phase. So that's how I just kept going, and then all the while my work kind of balanced out. So now I'm able to teach and work, which is great. This is exactly what I wanted, finally. Yes, I have. I've had a hard time motivating myself. I get tired because I work so much, so it's very hard to motivate when you're tired, and it's even harder to motivate other people when you're tired and you have to teach. So I really I do a lot of work to make sure that I stay motivated, I stay focused. I know when people come here, they want to escape and they want to get away from their office life and they want to decompress and, you know, hit a bag and get over their day. So that just actually motivates me more, as seeing more people like me where they're like, oh, I just gotta just work out, you know? And I think once people get their blood pumping, that really motivates me as a teacher. And I think that that also motivates me as a student. Once I start going, I start realizing that everyone's there because everyone wants to decompress and everyone wants to have fun. That actually helps out whenever when I'm tired and I'm unmotivated and I'm a little sluggish. I usually, I really, being around people and the energy that Krav Maga brings, I think is what helps me to stay motivated and stay focused. Because the second I come here, I know other people are here to work out and to have fun. So, me too. Ooh, ooh. Let me think about this. Don't get overwhelmed and don't get discouraged or intimidated, because everyone here has been a beginner. Very rarely do you ever see somebody come in and they're an expert at it. So everyone has stumbled, everyone has felt frustrated because they don't have the coordination down yet. I think that staying on top of that idea that I'm not getting intimidated, I'm here to have fun, I'm not going to take this too seriously as far as, I'm not going to make myself, just don't get overwhelmed. Like, allow yourself to just be a beginner and learn and take the foundation, like learn your foundations, learn how to punch, learn how to kick, and everything else just kind of really falls into place. I think that people get overwhelmed and they want to work out a whole lot, and they'll work out 2 or 3 times a day, and then they'll be sore or they injure themselves. They don't take the proper rest days. So I think that allowing yourself to just go at a really good, find your path and your journey, and everything else will kind of fall in there. Just, be nice to yourself and allow yourself to just be a beginner. It's okay. Come to my class. It's Mondays at 8. Boxing, boop, 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 bag, boop, boop, boop. And then CrossFit on Wednesday nights at 8. Boop, boop.